Because there's coming a time, real soon, where we won't have this luxury to do it. We won't have it. And there won't be these people on social media showing you windfall victories and tell you it's easy as shit, come over here and copy me type trading, or buy my course, or buy my books, or buy my system, or buy a membership to my Discord, or whatever the hell it is. There's coming a time like that, and they're all going to disappear. And they're going to be sitting in their house, if they can still have one, and they're going to be shitting themselves thinking, what in the hell did I do? I did not have no preparation for this. I have my money tied up in shit I can't touch now. When the grid goes down, look, folks, look what happened in Spain. I told you, when the lights fucking go out, your crypto shit ain't worth nothing. Oh, but I got it on what? That you can't access. Think about when the grid goes down. Can you buy anything with your debit card or your credit card? No, you can't. It's cash only. But they're trying to tell us we need to move away from cash. We need to move away. I had someone this year go into my bank account and take $7,500 out. Now, I got the money back. It's not a big deal. But they're able to do that because it's electronic funds. Everything's online banking. If you have a lot of money in checking accounts, you're a fucking idiot. You need to put your money into a savings account because they cannot do ACH payments through savings accounts. So all you guys that are showing your bank accounts all the time, look at this, I got a couple $100,000, I'm rich. You're not fucking rich too. You're stupid because you're keeping that money in an account where ACH purchases can be made. I had an account that had $200,000 in, which if I lost that with them stealing it for a little while, I know that FDIC is going to pay it back, just like they gave the $7,500 back. But that doesn't happen in any of the accounts I have in savings. It will never happen. That will never, ever happen. And there's no checks on savings accounts. So what is it? It's the best form of protecting your cash on reserve in a bank. And I keep just about $20,000, $30,000 below the FDIC maximum, which is $250,000. Do I believe they have enough money to cover everything if shit goes upside down? Absolutely not. But am I losing sleep over it? Because in that situation, once it gets there, it is what it is. Everybody's on the same playing field then. You make as much money as I make, and I have as much money as you have at that time. When everything goes to shit, we're all equals then. But while we have this time to do what we can, anything did you see how I shifted from you can grow wealth, and then COVID transitioned to me, you need to make ends meet. That wasn't by accident. I told everybody. I had people leave my mentorship in 2020, said I was a fucking nut.
So true.
And they're begging to come back in. They're begging me to come back in. Because everything I said has happened. Everything's expensive. They can't afford shit. Groceries off the fucking charts. How much does it cost for food where you're at? Where you're at right now, how much does food cost? Is it expensive or is it cheap? I'm asking you. Pippi.
Who's it?
Hello.
Expensive. Very expensive.
So
super expensive. And it's not going to change.
Everybody feels that. And guess what? You better have deeper pockets that you have right now, because it's going to get even more expensive. And if you can't find a way to push savings into a place where you can access it, that means cash reserves outside of a bank. Look what happened in Spain. The power went out, and they come up with some Mickey Mouse bullshit excuse. Well, we had a climate event that caused the grid to go down. Get the fuck out of here. That's controlled. They're doing a test run in that country, and it's going to happen in good old America. You want to see people go fucking crazy? Let the lights go out for a week. Let the fucking food shelves get wiped out in hours, and there ain't nothing being brought to the stores. Let that situation happen wherever you live in America. It's going to be the wild, wild west. And the things that you have to procure, whether it be gas for people that have been smart enough to stockpile a little bit of it, and it's going to be like a black market. It sounds like Mad Max scenario shit, doesn't it? It does. But there's a lot of people that learn from me that that's a way of life over in Africa. That's the way it is. Power goes down. Where am I going to get energy from? I need gasoline for my generators. I need to do this. They make ends meet however they got to do it. In America, we think we walk around like shit ain't never going to happen here. Dude, it is coming. They've tested during the last 4 years how they can hit our grid. In a certain combination of certain things happening, the whole thing comes down. Why the fuck are we getting our energy from Canada? The whole northeastern block of the United States subsidized through Canada's production and electric. How the fuck's that even making sense? How does that make sense? It makes no sense. None. And here we are, we're butting heads with China, where we get all of the infrastructure that keeps our grid going, repair it, and they're saying we're stopping everything coming over there now. That's what you don't see. That's the deduction of all these things coming and coalescing to a shitstorm that nobody sees happening. It's coming. It's gonna come. I can go about 6 months with the lights and everything off. I can run 6 months. I have power systems that will allow me to do that nonstop for 6 months. But after 6 months, I'm a fucking caveman. Now, it costs me a lot of money. It costs me a lot of things and resources to put that shit in place. Not most of you couldn't do that. So my question to you is this: what are you wasting your money on right now? It sounds like it cannot happen, but just take a look around, folks, because this shit is coming. The people in our White House right now, they're not looking out for you. They say they are, but they're not. They're worried about dumb Mickey Mouse shit. Sure, we get treated wrong in America. We have to pay a huge tariff for this going into that country. Who gives a shit? We're throwing billions and billions of dollars over there to a country that's just a laundry machine. But people got wiped out in a hurricane in Tennessee and Carolina, and they're living in fucking tents. Why are they living in a fucking tent? If you were living in a fucking tent in the South America, or lower states of America, how would you feel about billions of your tax dollars going over to another fucking country by a fucking goofball that used to dance around in fucking leather tight pants and high heels? Get the fuck out of here. I would be mad as fuck. I would be wanting to raise some motherfucking hell. And now we're threatening that we're going to give more of it to them for spite. It's all designed to piss us off. And it's going to splash over into the marketplace. It's coming, folks. And when you piss enough people off and shit starts happening, look what they're doing with the Tesla stuff. Oh, they're going to scratch the car. That's how it starts. That's a demarker. That's telling you the show has started. People are willing to risk their fucking freedom to put a fucking scratch on a car that doesn't belong to them because they believe evil Elon Musk needs to punish. He needs to be punished. Think about it. Then all of a sudden it'll be like, well, we got to go out and do more damage to the people that believe this and that. In my neighborhood, you don't see any like political statements or signs in the yards. Maybe you do see where you're at, but we're in an affluent area. We don't see that kind of stuff. But the outskirts of our neighborhood used to be littered with Trump, and then you see Biden and Harris and stuff like that. You don't see anybody with Trump signs up right now. Why? Two things are happening. One, they're kind of pissed off and they don't want to show any allegiance to him right now. The second is they're scared shitless that someone's going to do something to their property because they see what's going on with Elon Musk and Tesla. So MAGA people are taking a step back visibly where they don't want to show their support of him anymore. It doesn't mean that they don't support him. It just means that they're taking that step back and they don't want to be known publicly. There's this shift that's taking place. It's mind control. Government in Latin means mind control. All you got to do is take a broad step back and say, okay, what's being done and what's being focused on right now, and where is the big stones in the road that should be being taken care of and they're not? It's all this little side stuff. And it's all meant to get you gassed and pissed off. And we're going into the hot months where all the protests always take place. Cities burn in the summertime. And as soon as that stuff happens, nobody's going to be worrying about nothing. But am my house going to get caught on fire? Am I going to have wildfire in my area? Because there's enough people that came in our country that have every reason to do that kind of shit. It's easy to start a fire. It's easy. And when people start doing crazy shit and they want to do maximum damage, they're going to do stuff like that. Do you have a way to protect your house if a wildfire breaks out? I have an irrigation system that completely floods my whole fucking area. I got 8 acres. And this whole thing will be a swamp. It'll be a fucking swamp inside of an hour and a half. Well, that sounds crazy. Well, good. Well, you can call it crazy, but I call my fucking house standing still. It's brick, mortar, and I have a moat system on delivery, just like that. I take this shit seriously. I'm not telling you some bullshit. I've prepared. Since 2020, I put things in motion. In 2019, I said shit's coming. It's worse than 9/11. I told you all this shit was coming, and they made fun of me. They said chicken little this and chicken little that, fear porn. Okay. Look at what happens. The whole fucking planet's messed up. Everybody's in the broke fucking house. It costs a lot of money for me to buy food. And it pisses me off that I gotta spend that much for things that just 5 years ago, I could fill a grocery cart with $150. $150? Shit, that's nothing now. That's nothing. And if you have a family, how are you providing for them? Just barely, if nothing else, you're borrowing from other people or running out credit cards that person's gonna have to get paid. That credit card is gonna have to be paid. The limit's gonna be met eventually. And you have to make a change. You have to change what it is that you're doing. What pursuits are you having right now? Do you want to live a lavish lifestyle? Or are you preparing to weather a storm that everybody's going to experience? It's coming, folks. There's no avoiding it. It is absolutely coming. And if you're not prepared for it, or at least hedging it some way by having cash reserves on hand, you're fucking around with fire. You're literally waiting for the worst case scenario to happen and be ill prepared for it. Because if our grid goes down in the United States, that's not something that we're going to turn it back on. Where are we going to get the parts if China says, fuck you, we're not sending shit? Because we don't have lots of them sitting around in reserve. Ask people that are in the industry. I have linesmen that are friends of relatives, and they tell you all the time, they got to wait for all these things to happen. It's a shit show when these other counties and states have to go to other states because they don't have enough on demand to fix all of these things when the storms go through and rip down the power lines and all the capacitors and I don't even know what the hell these things are, transformers. We don't make them in America. We have no real stockpile of that stuff except for on hand, just a few over here, a few over there. And it takes this concerted effort of other states to come together just to fix one area that's destroyed by a storm. And that restocking time isn't immediate. And now where we get all those parts from, China. They said, go fuck yourself, Trump. That's what they've done. Go to the ports on the West Coast. Check in on people that live over there. Say, hey, what's the ports look like right now? A fucking barren wasteland. All your medications, your prescription medications, coming from India and China. Isn't it interesting that now India is getting fucked with Pakistan, and Pakistan's getting fucked with India? You don't think there's a future disruption in dispersing the pharmaceuticals that come out of that country? You're damn right it will be. Because here's the end goal, lower population. There's too many of us that say, we don't want to listen to your way of thinking. Because you're fucking maniacs. You're psychopaths. You're willing to kill people to get what you want. That's the reality of all this, folks. The end game is a lower population. And if they can get us fighting one another in the streets and killing one another easily, that's one good way. Not that it's good in a sense it's good, but it's a good way in their perspective. And if they can control the food, and they got control of the food. You control the food, you control the people. Look at Africa. Look at them. These poor souls are willing to do whatever they can just to get food. They'll rob you. They'll steal from you. And I would do the same fucking thing if I was starving. I've said it before. Listen, if it comes down where I can't access my money and I run out of supplies here and at my other home, guess what I'm going to be willing to do? The unfucking thinkable. And you would be too. Say otherwise, you're a fucking liar. My kids are going to eat. I might go without, but my fucking kids are going to eat. And they're pushing people globally, everywhere, with ass-backwards government, ass-backwards leadership, It's not even leadership anymore, but it's meant to piss you off. And instead of saying, you know what, things got to change in the extreme. What that means for you, I don't know. But I know I'm not going in the fucking streets and doing stupid shit. I'm going to hunker down and take care of my own for as long as I can. But the end result is less people, because less people is easier to control. Governments have expanded exponentially when they should be small governments that are serving the populace, the citizens. We don't have that. There's this paradigm shift. The only thing that's changed algorithmically is government's gotten bigger and more control, and populations have lost their freedom, their rights, their liberties. Think about it, folks. It's meant for chaos. It's meant to do those things. And you think that our trading endeavors, the playground that we have the privilege to be a part of every day, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday, you think that they're not going to fuck with that? That's where the money's at. If they reduce the population and control the wealth that's sitting right there to be taken, you think they're not going to do that? Come on. That's exactly what they intend to do. But they have to have a storyline that justifies why everything went to shit. They got some goober in the White House that's pissed off, and he has a bone to pick with everybody. And he thinks he can bully other countries and tell them what they're going to do. You better do this or do that. You think Putin gives a fuck what he's saying? No. You think the president of China thinks that Trump has their best interest in mind? No. They're laughing at this guy. They're laughing at that. And what are we going to do? We're going to threaten. We're going to do the only thing we can do. War, baby. War, war, war. Our commodity is war. Our commodity, our service to the world's economy is we can make war and war instruments. So isn't it interesting that all these wars are popping off? I told you this is going to be the end result in 2020. I said this is only going to end with World War III. That's what this has all been hyped up to do it. You lose a lot of people that way. People that are in high seats get lots more richer than they are. And they establish power and control. Because money's not it anymore. There's lots of billionaires. Money's easy. You've seen that. It's easy to go out there and find it. Just watch some ICT videos and put some work into it, back test. And there it is. You can pay off your deficit, right? If it could only be that easy. I could balance the fucking budget. They give me access to it. I'll put a fucking automated trading fucking thing on there. In 6 years, everything will be fucking perfect. Perfect. No drawdown. How about that? But we won't have that problem long. Because 4 years go by like this. Look how fast this year has zipped through. We're in the 5th month already. How much has changed? Nothing. Shit's more expensive. Oh, there's no recession now. Inflation's gone down. Where? Where's the savings at? Because I don't see it. And I got shit tons of money. I don't see any savings. I see everything I spend money on going higher. And for you that don't have as much as I have, I'm sure it's sickening. Like, how the fuck can this keep going on? I'm barely making it. They're choking you out. It's exactly what it's designed to do. Because if you get to that point, you're going to start doing things that you would never think to do. During the summer months, you want to just unload on everybody. You got to snap, just let it go. Maybe you never would shoplift, but maybe you might do it this summer. You would never stick that pound of ground beef in your bag in the store, but when you're broke and you can't make ends meet, you're contemplating doing that. Let me tell you something. I'm not above doing that if I had to. And that's just fucking real talk right there. My family's gonna eat. And I understand how people are gonna act when when it hits the fan. They're all gonna be thinking like this. And I'll repent afterwards. But your family's your family. You gotta do what you gotta do. And other people doing less than us, less fortunate than us, are being pushed into decisions that are life-altering. Not only for themselves, but for other people. And for the people that sit there and they leave comments and say, oh, fear porn, nothing ever happens, this stuff's always been said for years and years and years, get the fuck out of here. That's a 20-year-old that doesn't even know what history is because they stopped teaching real history. You got judges in America right now that don't have the fucking authority to overrule a presidential fucking decision. They don't have the rights to do that. They don't have the control. They don't have the platform to do it. They don't have the reach. And they're testing the perception of the American people because they're saying, yeah, finally a judge stands up to... It doesn't work that way, folks. They stopped teaching civics for a reason. Most people don't even know what the fucking Bill of Rights is. They've never read the Constitution. They don't know what the fucking stages of due process is, who's entitled to it or not. People coming into our country illegally have more rights than the fucking people that are here that pay fucking taxes. Yes, that's a fucking problem. I don't give a shit where you come from. It's not limited to Latin America. It's to everybody that was going through there. But guess what? Flip side of the coin. If I was elsewhere and that was going on, my ass would have came through that fucking border too. I'd be getting my $10,000 fucking debit card. I'd be getting my free cell phone. I'd be getting my free health care. I would have done it too. I'm not blaming them. But we have a real fucking problem. It ain't going away fast or easy. And I don't have the solution. The only thing I'm doing is preventing a complete meltdown where I have no access to resources when it happens. We have never had a sustained blackout. We've not had that. Spain just tested it. And the citizens tasted it. How frustrating would that be? You can't pay for anything. You need things, but you can't pay for it. And you don't have cash on hand because everything's been going towards electronic debit and banking. And you guys love this crypto bullshit. Your fucking wallets won't be accessible. So how are you going to pay for shit? You don't think, because you don't think that this type of stuff's going to happen here. But that's exactly what's coming. And that's how they will force all this shit on you. And their solution after they present the problem is what everybody's going to be forced to approve and say, yes, I am going to subscribe to that way of doing things. People's bank accounts are going to get plundered. I've already seen it happen with mine. My wife's account, because she does all this debit stuff, that's why we do not bank in the same accounts. And you can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me, but my wife, she spends money stupidly. She swipes debit cards, she swipes credit cards in any place. She doesn't care. She ain't looking for those little things that lay over top of the credit card reader and skim it. So she's always having issues with her bank accounts. But I'm exempt from her shit. She's always battling the fucking banks to get her money back in her account because she's getting hit all the time. Because she's reckless with her spending. She has no name on any bank account that has my name on it. Not one. Not fucking one. I share no bank account with none of them. Not one of my kids, not my wife. I hedge against all that stuff. I don't own a debit card. I don't own one. They're the stupidest fucking thing anybody could have. And you probably use a debit card every single day for your purchasing. All you're doing is ensuring that your number's out there. And it's a direct route right to your bank account. Money. I do purchases through a company corporate credit card. That's their money. When they hit that card, that's their fucking problem. Meantime, I'm not paying that bill. And I have an Amex Gold card. They're always pushing me for the Platinum card. They're always just saying, hey, look, let's get this, the Centurion card. Let's get this. No, I rolled back down to just the Gold card. It only cost me $400 a year. And then I use it so much that I get perks back for it. I'm rich, but I ain't stupid with money. I do things because I see what's coming. When I was younger, I didn't think this way. But I have a family that's growing. And I want to make sure that I can take care of them when shit gets upside down. I may not be able to do it entirely. I may not be able to do everything I'm preparing to be willing to do, but at least I'm sleeping at night knowing I can. I can make an attempt to do these things. I'm not out there living lavishly when I could. I want to be responsible with what's been given to me. Like, I want to be a good steward with what it is that's been given to me. And I'm trying to cultivate that in you as a listener. For young people, you don't want to hear this message. You probably already, I don't even know how many people are watching. You probably just signed off and said, okay, this is bullshit. I'm done. This isn't about trading anymore. You're going to remember the things you've heard so far when shit goes upside down and you can't press the button to get into or out of a trade. What do you think is going to happen? As soon as the grid goes down or an event causes them to make trading inaccessible for an extended period of time, it could be a week, it could be a couple weeks, Could be 3 days. Could be one fucking day. The way the world is right now, imagine your 401k that you self-direct the trade yourself. You have access to your money. You're doing all the investments. You're trading your own accounts. All of a sudden, you can't do shit. You can't get in or get out. You can't add to or take some off. See, some of you weren't even alive during the 9/11. I was stuck in the market. I was stuck in the market. I couldn't get out. What do you think is going to happen when people see that happen here and they open the market 1,500 to 2,000 points lower? Because it's designed to cause people to freak out and puke up their guts. And everybody panics out. Boom, 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 boom. That's controlled demolition, just like 9/11 was. And they're gonna create the very thing that they're gonna blame Trump. He caused all this stuff. It's been put in motion decades ago, folks. This inflated run up, this parabolic run in equities and stocks, none of those companies deserve to be valued at the prices that they're at now. Not one company deserves to be valuated at where they're at right now. But they're gonna plunder it. They're gonna plunder it.